Canada's parliamentary budget officer is levelling some sharp criticism at the Conservative government in Ottawa tonight. In an exclusive interview on the West Block with Tom Clark, Kevin Page calls Ottawa's controversial acquisition of 65 F-35 fighter jets a complete failure. And as Shirley Engel tells us, Page is warning that if the problems are not fixed, they could seriously impact other future large-scale military procurements as well.
Parliamentary Budget Officer Kevin Page insisted all along the government was lowballing the true cost of the new F-35 fighter jets. But he says even the Tories hitting the reset button on the purchase isn't enough to undo the damage.
Certainly our experience in 2010-11 was a complete failure, and I think a lack of leadership both politically and I think by public servants as well. So it's very difficult to rebuild the process. I think trust is damaged.
On the West Block with Tom Clark, the always outspoken number cruncher called for an open debate on the requirements and options for new jets.
You know, if trust is broken, I don't think you get, in terms of a reset, trust back until you have that debate in front of Parliament.
An audit last week pegged the cost of the stealth fighter jet at $45.8 billion over a 42-year life cycle, a far cry from the government's initial estimate of $14.7 billion over a 20-year time frame. Page says if the lessons in this debacle aren't learned, it could have implications for the government's plan to build $35 billion in new ships.
Can we go down the same road with ships? Yes. If we're not careful, we can do the same.
The parliamentary secretary to the defense minister responded to Page's criticism.
It's a bit rich for the PBO to be saying there's a total failure of leadership for a project where no money had been spent.
And what about those ships?
Well, I think the shipbuilding process has gone extremely well so far.
Either way, Page has been a thorn in the government's side ever since he started shining a light on the books. He says he hasn't yet heard of plans to replace him when his term is up in 3 months.
We have a PBO cliff. I've got no sense right now that there's any momentum to replace me come March 2013.
His post was created by Stephen Harper after the sponsorship scandal as part of the Accountability Act. The Prime Minister's office would only say Page will be replaced. Shirley Engel, Global News, Ottawa.